Hello guys, and welcome back to a new video today in which we're going to talk about the news that I'm sure you have seen everywhere, that Tesla is using Palantir Foundry. So I'm going to cover if this news is true or not. And I hate to break your bubble, it's likely not true, or it's not the way that you think it is true. And we're going to go into what this could mean. So as always, please make sure you hit the subscribe button below if you like this channel. And if you want to go even further, check out the first link in the description box below, where you can support the channel for $5 a month and get access to all the tables and valuations and direct access to me and my eternal gratitude. So go ahead and check it out. So let's begin this video. The news was broken by this Twitter user, Ether Square. And he has been the guy who has been using this method of writing company names and then .palantirfoundry.com to see who is working with Palantir Foundry, because not all the companies are public about working with Foundry. And he was the one who broke that the UK government and the Lithuanian government is working with Ukrainian refugees with this method. So there is some truth to this cycle. And he gave that when you click on this link, it takes you to an actual functioning link of a Foundry, if my internet would work. So here we go. So I just wanted to show you that this is not some random website that somebody set up, because I tried actually Pfizer.palantirfoundry.com and I got the same name. And I tried to see what happens if you go further, but obviously I didn't get into this. So let me just show you what happens. Nothing. And then I try some maybe possible email addresses at Tesla. Nothing. Nothing. So I can't get in. So this might be true that Tesla is working with Palantir, but I want to give you the scenarios that I think are likely. And we're going to go from the most unlikely to the likeliest scenario. And again, if it's the most unlikely scenario, it's obviously fantastic for Palantir, but unfortunately, life is just not that kind to us Palantir shareholders. So the number one, I believe, most unlikely situation is that Tesla is using Palantir in all their company as their working operating system. The reason why I think that this is super highly unlikely is because Tesla has access to the best AI talent, the best programmers, and they have so many things. And I believe it's just simpler for them to do and design their own working operating system inside Tesla. And even Palantir is not saying that you can't come up with your own system for Palantir. They just say that it costs you $1 billion or more. It costs you a lot of time to do this, and it has an 80% chance of failure rate. So if you take Nike, which is a relatively mature company that has probably very old management, no access to software engineers, and if they try to do a Foundry-like product, it's obviously going to be very hard for them. But if you take the world's best programmers and AI engineers and ask them to come up with something that is useful for Tesla, I think if they can't come up with something like that, you need to fire the bunch. So I think it's highly unlikely. Obviously, if this would be the case, it would be that Palantir has access to the Holy Grail, and really what they have, nobody else can replicate, and they have the world's absolute best moat. And yeah, you should load up on the shares like there's no tomorrow. Again, unfortunately, life is just not that good. Number two, it might be that Tesla has heard a lot about Palantir, and then they thought that in certain work processes they can use them, and they started a trial, or they went into a sales cycle with Palantir. So that means that, you know, they are on some sort of a trial, and they started setting up the website. They're checking out if something can be, you know, if this can be useful for them. However, I think this is also unlikely. I think the most likely is a third version, which is not, it's a bit counterintuitive. But do you remember I made so many videos that Palantir has this go-to-market approach wherein they go and become an industry standard in a consortium, and then everybody who joins that consortium is sort of made to use Palantir. And as you know, Tesla is opening up their charging stations for every auto company to be able to use them. And many of the auto companies already use Palantir. So I believe the most likely scenario is Tesla is raped and they have to use Palantir because all the other car companies use this, and also the charging station companies, even utility companies use Palantir. So just to simply to communicate with these systems, it might be that they just had to get Palantir. And we said that this was a very risky bet from Palantir to have this go-to-market strategy because, you know, their competitors, which is like Snowflake and all these other companies, they go with the simplest market solution and then they try to go up market, and Palantir goes to the top dogs in the industry and becomes an industry leader. And then the more people that use it at the same time, the more value it gives the whole group that is using it. And it can become a situation where I believe in like this, you are forced to use them because otherwise you can't join the other group. And in this case, you know, the charging networks or, you know, the other car companies that are using the chargers. So let me know in the comments what you think about this news, if you think this is amazing or not. Obviously, this is completely not confirmed by either Palantir or Tesla, and we shouldn't expect that this is going to be confirmed. So we are just going to be sitting in a mystery. But I just wanted to tell you my 2 cents on this subject. So again, let me know what you think. What do you think is the most likely scenario? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.